Welcome Exiles, thanks for the love you've shown me in my previous videos. So Grinding Gear Games has just dropped a patch note for the latest updates in Path of Exile 2. So in this patch note, they have addressed so many issues new players are facing and also the in-game players are facing. So they've fixed almost every issue we are facing now. So this is one of the best patch notes they've released so far. So I'll go through the patch note now. Okay. So some days ago, like 3 or 4 days ago, Grinding Gear Games has had another patch note that nerfed some builds that used cast on crit or cast on shock, freeze, this type of builds. So they've significantly nerfed these builds. So many players are playing the builds, and after the nerf, when they tried to respec their character into other builds, they could not because the respec cost almost 400,000 golds. So getting to 400,000 golds was not an easy task. So their builds are bricked. So addressing the issue, they have now made so that the respecting the nodes will cost you less gold. So in IN game, normally in level 90 character, if you fully wanna respect the character, it will cost you almost 400,000 gold. Now it will cost almost 50% less gold. So it will be like 200,000 or something. I think they should make so that the lower level characters can make respect their characters easily, like without any cost. I think they should have done that in the campaign. At least in the normal campaign, you should have the ability to respect your characters for free. So I think they should add that. But this is in a this update. This is in the right direction. They have reduced the cost. So props for that. Now the one of the most important things, the trials. So trials are the way to ascend your character to get the ascendancy points. So trials of Sekimas is this like a center mechanism. You go from one room to another room, you take some buff, you take some nerf. So normally it was almost impossible for the melee characters to complete the trials. Because what? Because when you go to the melee range to the monster, if the monster hit you, you lose the same amount of honor when you were at range. So it means that melee characters were getting hit more frequently and they were losing more honor than the ranged characters. To counter that, they've now made it so that the honor resistance now scales with your distance to the monster. If you are close to the monster, you take up to 35% less honor damage. So it makes so that the melee characters can do the trials easily from now on. This is a nice thing for the melee characters, and they have also dealt with some bugs in the trials. So for the final ascendancies, these were bugged. They were not well telegraphed, so you couldn't done the final ascendancy for third or fourth lab easily. So now they've made the confusion easier. They've like they've made it easier to understand. Also, they've made some changes to the monsters. The boss from the first room boss, it spawns too much lava, so you are surely to get hit by the lava and lose honor. Now it costs 50% less duration, like the lava will have 50% less duration, so that it means that the room will have 50% less lava, so it will be good for the trial. So now in the end game, those who were at maps, those who were farming the end game, you may see that like a normal monster, even though you have so much resistance, so much life, so much defense, a normal monster also can one shot you. This is so much frustrating because when you are mapping, you kill the rare mobs and you kill the magic unique mobs easily, but normal mob one shot you. So they've addressed the issue. Now They've made that the critical strikes from monster now deal 40% less damage. So you will take some less damage from the crit hits. You will not like get one shotted now and then. Okay. Also, monsters no longer have additional elemental resistances penalty inherently applied at tier 6 and tier 11 or higher maps. So normally in maps in waystones you can roll the waystones so that can have like monsters have additional resistances or some modifiers. So it it used to make that the inherent resistances like the monsters, the maps, the monsters in the map did have some resistances inherently. So if you add the monsters have 50% already raised, it will be added to the inherent resistances and it will make the monsters so much tankier. So from now on the inherent resistances will be removed. So if you want to roll the additional resistances on the monster, you can, but if you don't roll it, the monsters will not have any other resistances. So it will be way easier for you to clear the maps because they will not have any inherent resistances. It's good changes for mappers. Also, there was a issue like the chaos damage were too much in endgame. While like in tier 14, 15 maps, even a single chaos damage over time can make you die, can kill you. So now they have made the chaos damage scaling less aggressive so that you may counter the chaos damage also you die less often. So this is a good thing. In breaches, they've lowered the baseline monster density. So not before the patch, then normally you if you open the breaches, you are dead because there are so many monsters around you and you can't even go away from them. You can't even dodge roll away from it. Like you are dead if you don't have any high clear speed build. So they've fixed the issue by lowering the monster density. This is a good thing. So there are some other changes, good changes, the monster changes that will help you clear the end game, clear the maps better. Like the siphons flash charges modifier on the monsters, like the siphoners, they used to make your life and mana flash charges zero. Like you couldn't even like charge your flasks. So it will almost kill you. It would. So they've now made it so that they drain 10 times less flash charges. So it will now you can sustain the flash charges even fighting the siphoner monsters. So this is a good thing for the mapping or the good thing for the game. So next thing, they've changed the character and item balance. So in characters, they've now changed so many things. The main thing is that electrocute is now 25% harder to build up. So in the lighting characters, like they started to use a glove that has electrocute or some other gems that has electrocute on them. And what does electrocute do? It stuns the monsters for almost 5 seconds. So they were abusing the electrocute thing. So this is now 25% harder to build up. So this is a nice balance, I think. And also you may notice that even if you are a end game character, you don't have all the charm slots in your bells because rolling the maximum charm slots in bells was like impossible, almost impossible, because they are not that much common. So now they've made it so much common that you can get the other charm slots easily. That's a nice change. And also they have also added some new clusters and also added some more things for the characters. This is a good thing. Now this is the most important part. They've improved some gems and they've also nerfed some builds. So in nerfing, they have nerfed the skeletal arcanist. So normally in if you are playing infernalist, you can have almost 12, 13 or more skeletal arcanist. So the more skilled arcanist you had, you were clearing like better than any other characters. So now they have nerfed it so that the skeletal arcanist cost more spirit, so you may not get the 12 13 skeletal arcanist you used to get. You may have like 10 20% less skeletal army, so it is a nice. I think this is good for the game because like they were too much overpowered. Nice. And also they've nerfed the damage over time component on Tornado and Vinado. So you have maybe seen some clips that people were doing, like the pinnacle bosses, they were dying in 2 or 3 seconds because of the Vinado. So they have nerfed the build, so for the bit more health, better health for the game. So I think this is a nice nerf. Also the skeleton nerf is also nice. So they've also buffed some other skills. So they will release the buffs and nerfs in detailed way in their detailed patch notes. So we don't know about other nerf and buffs. So like reading the patch note, I think this will make your gameplay experience 5 to 10 times better. And also I think I like forgot to mention, you can now click on the checkpoints on maps and travel to the checkpoints instantly. You don't need to run from one part to the map to other part and wasting 5 to 10 minutes of your time. You can do it instantly. This is one of the best thing they are adding to in Path of Exile. So it will make your campaign way smoother. I think it will reduce the time to complete the campaign by half. So that's it. And you may comment down below what which of the best notes you like or not. So thanks for watching Exiles, and always stay sane, Exile.